All right, let's head back to Washington, D.C. and bring in NBC's Bianca Ficini. Senators, Bianca, are expected to vote once again today, but it doesn't look hopeful. Are there any cracks on either of the defenses to break through?
Hey, Chesley, good morning. So far, no. Neither party really looks like it's going to or willing to budge. The Senate will vote this afternoon, but no one is expecting the measures to pass to reopen the government. I think most people are expecting some sort of extension, so both sides have a little bit more time to hash out a deal, but it doesn't look like we'll see any concessions just yet. So most people are anticipating that the shutdown will at least last until next week.
Okay. All right. So we saw the president. He met with the heads of Office of Management and Budget to see if there was any programs or recommendations that he could cut. How serious is he about making these cuts, or is it just kind of a smokescreen, you think?
Well, I think based on how many cuts he's already made, everyone here in Washington is taking him seriously when he says he will make more cuts if he can. Operative word being if there. I mean, some people are questioning, for example, if the president can actually fire people during a shutdown versus a furlough. But I do think a lot of this will depend on how long the shutdown lasts for, especially given neither side wants to make a concession. But I think most Democrats are assuming that pretty much anything that they support is on the table, because we have seen President Trump specifically say, I want to go after the, quote, Democrat agencies. Has he been specific about everything he means that, qualifies as a Democrat agency? No. But if this shutdown continues for a long time, those cuts could spread to several different programs or agencies that the Democrats have supported.
Bianca, the big sticking point for Democrats seems to be health care. And to that end, we got some new comments from Republican leaders in the Senate, right?
Right. So healthcare does remain the sticking point for Democrats here. But the GOP Senate leader, Senator John Thune, essentially said he's not budging. He did say that the GOP will talk about healthcare with the Democrats after the government reopens. But of course, that's not what the Democrats want to hear. They want to talk about it now and don't want to, have to deal with promises later on. So things are very much still at a standstill. No one is expecting this to end today, but it will be interesting to see what senators have to say today after the vote this afternoon to see if any of the very initial talks that some of the senators were having on the floor 2 days ago have made any progress, or if they're just going into this weekend saying, nope, we're still stuck in the same spot and we are not expecting this to end anytime soon.
Yeah, maybe the voices will start to get a little louder. We know the last time this took place under President Trump, as people started to get a little unrest, he decided to end things. And so we'll see if that will be the case this time around. All right. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's interesting because the last shutdown, like you said, was during President Trump's first term. So this is the first shutdown in almost 7 years. But I think one thing that people should consider is that historically, most of these shutdowns have not had a significant impact on the economy. Even if there has been some sort of cost, it typically is made up once the government reopens and, people go back to work and everything recovers. But this is the first, post-COVID economy shutdown. The labor market has shown some signs of softening recently. So for a lot of the federal workers that are either furloughed or potentially laid off, that could cause different challenges this time. So I think the Trump administration and Republicans might be relying on the fact that it might not cost too much economically, but it's also slightly different this time. So that also, of course, depends on how long the shutdown lasts, but it will be interesting to see how those things develop.
All right, Bianca Ficini, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, and have a great weekend.